again. Our friend Dennis is back. He's kind of a mess. He's got to get neck surgery from a hockey injury. That's why I don't play anymore. And he just sliced his hand open. Show him how you fixed it. See, that's how you do it in the business. If you're a pro, you know. But here's what we think is spiking that temperature. That's the old element. That is a lot of calcium buildup on there, and it's kind of joined the two elements together here. So we're putting a new shiny one in, maybe running Dennis to the ER. We haven't decided yet. Dennis just left. He got the water heater working, the new elements in. We're going to give it about 15 or 20 minutes, let the water come up to temp, and hopefully it's down around 120, 130 where water heaters are supposed to be. We're pretty sure that this element all, caked up with buildup is the cause. A little concerned that the high limit switch didn't trip out, but it just may have been not getting a signal from this. So we'll give it about 15, 20, or maybe next time we come down and test the hot water, and hopefully that solves it. So that is our old water heater element, and you can see the amount of buildup on there, calcium or scaling or whatever they call that. But why that was causing this to run hotter, our only thought is this wasn't able to send the correct signal up to the thermostat. The thermostat does not go into the tank. It just reads a signal from this, so that's possibly the reason. But anyway, there's a brand new shiny one in there. I'm getting all the part numbers off this I can. I'm keeping the box from the new one, or at least take a picture of it, so that should we need to work on it again, we can. But hopefully if this works, it saves us the hassle of tearing that water heater out from underneath the floor. My commentary on poor design for these water heaters, and they're in a lot of boats and a lot of campers, but there's a cover that goes over this, and these 4 bolts down here is the element. That opening is only about this tall, but we made the executive decision to cut this opening out all the way down. Dennis works at a heating and cooling shop here in Ludington, and he took this cover, and he's going to have a bigger cover made that we can cover everything with, because he removed from here down to access the element. Why the manufacturer wouldn't do that to begin with, I don't know, but we would have had to disconnect all these plumbing lines, which are working fine, pull this entire white cover off just to pull that out. So we both kind of came up with the idea that cutting this out down here would be a better plan. Here's the piece that was cut out. It went right here. So that opening used to block the bottom of the element. So we cut this piece out, and we're just going to make hopefully a bigger cover, put the insulation back over, put the new cover on, and call it good. But if this works, and our fingers are crossed, we saved ourselves a big old hassle, because that hot water heater is tucked so far back in the corner, I have no idea how we would get that out of here. That is the isolation transformer. That's the water heater. That's our bridge air conditioning unit. That's the generator back there. I'm guessing all of these units would have to come out to get it out. So anyway, new element. We're going to test the water temperature. Dennis is going to make us a new cover for the face, and hopefully that solves it. Mr. Furley is having a spa day over at Oni Marine, because we left him in the water most of the summer for convenience, and the bottom of the boat got fouled pretty bad, so they're trying to get him cleaned off so we can get him loaded up and get out of here. You can see some of the staining underneath. They're doing a pretty good job of getting them clean.
You guys are saving us on this.
What do you think?
Guess who's not leaving Mr. Furley in the water anymore?
You?
If you know, you know.
He's going to be able to acid wash the stuff off the bottom, I think, but he's really trouble getting that line off.
Yeah, that's the one I was, when I was on the paddle boat, I was scrubbing it with the hull cleaner and it wasn't really coming off. Midday, about 11 days from leaving, and we're just running down to the boat. We had Mr. Furley cleaned off. The lake stained him up pretty good, but Oni Marine here, Oni himself got Mr. Furley cleaned up, and so we're about to load him on the platform and get him out of the water. And I was just up here at the helm and checked the air horn leak, and it held. So it was that hose and the check valve. The reset switch hasn't tripped, so the air horn's crossed off the list. And yesterday Dennis was here finishing up the water heater, so while we're loading up Mr. Furley on the swim platform, I'm going to run the hot water, and hopefully it's up to temperature and only about 120 or 130 degrees instead of scalding 169 where it was. So we're going to test the water now. Well, it's for sure better than it was. It's 155 degrees or so, which is still too hot. It should be around 130 or 140, but it's better. So I don't know if maybe it just needs another thermostat. It is a brand new thermostat, but it seems too hot. Well, after letting it run a little bit and blow off some of the steam, it looks like we might have fixed this. Thank goodness, because we were getting some high readings right off the bat. But we let it run and kind of blow out yesterday's water, and now it's staying right around 120. Kind of depends where I get the temperature sensor, but it stays right around 115, 120, and that's what it's supposed to be. So for right now, we're going to call the water heater fixed and on to the next thing. Oh man, what a nice job. That was just black and covered with fouling, and we had staining on the tubes, and he just did an incredible job. So looks like Mr. Furley's ready for the trip. Hey.
We are about 8 days from taking off on our epic Great Loop number 2, and starting to feel a little bit like crunch time. There's a lot of things to do, and we have a beautiful stretch of September weather here. We're watching Dreamer make his way around the Great Lakes to come meet us. You can see the trees are barely changing color yet, so we're taking advantage of this extended summer to get done what we can. But today we're down on the boat doing as much as we can, because back to work next week for a few days and then back down to the boat for a few projects. So it's a busy, confusing time, but we're embracing every moment and getting really excited. I'm processing a lot of different emotions this time around. The first time I remember being a little nervous, of course excited, all those kinds of things. But this time around, I don't know, the nervousness is more about getting things done. I get excited from time to time about, oh, it'll be cool to go back to Grafton. Be great to see Scott and Lauren on Dreamer. So there's some real joy or anticipation moments that come up. But then there's also quite a few, oh my God, we have so much to get done. What are we doing with the house? What are we doing with my job? What are we doing with everything? Like, is it okay that we go? Is it okay that we do this? But I think that's where it's important to fight through and just do it, or else we'll never leave the dock and never get out there again. So lots of weird emotions this time through, but trying to embrace every moment and getting super excited to get out of here and get back out there. A couple weeks ago, some loopers pulled up next to us at the dock next to Andromeda. And I remember the wife asked us, why are you doing the loop again? And we didn't have a direct answer, and I've thought about it over and over. And I mean, the simple answer is because it's there. And it was just, the harder answer is that it's epic, there's bonding, there's adventure, it's just different than day-to-day life that we all go through. Same job, same house, same apartment, and all of a sudden with one cast of the lines, every day is different and every day is an adventure. So that's the long answer, but I think I got the sense from her that she wasn't looking forward to doing it again. And maybe that's the difference between taking so many months to prepare. They had purchased their boat sight unseen, loaded it up and took off. And I think sometimes that when we run into folks that do that, they're just glad to get it over with, where other folks who've taken years to learn the boat and plan seem to have a more enjoyable adventure. That's not always the case. I mean, we do meet plenty of people who sight unseen take off and now they're liveaboards. And we've met plenty of people who planned forever and thought it was the worst trip ever. So don't take that one way or the other, but I'm just saying in our small sampling, it seems like the people who retire, pick up on Friday, pick up the boat on Saturday, and away they go, are just itching for the adventure to be over, where people who have embraced boating and live aboard and everything else seem to want to do it again and again and stay out there longer. I'm just about done with my morning walk, and Kathy's in town running some morning errands and about to get back down to Andromeda and just get after it. We have to get done everything we can, and again, take advantage of this beautiful weather, which it's hard to do all the boat projects when you want to spend times with friends and friends on the dock and enjoy days like this. But we have a mission to complete and a few days left before we cast the line. So back to the boat here in a few minutes and get after it. We are getting the projects done today, and one of the projects we're going to do is...
He said we.
I did say we. One of the projects we're going to do is we're going to take Mr. Furley, who is now all clean and shiny, and we're going to bring him along the starboard side here, because this is going to be hard to film, but there's a scum line down there that our lake, PM Lake, is famous for. Just sitting here, it just builds up and builds up. That's what happened to the bottom of Mr. Furley. And so before we leave, we want to try and brush that scum line off of there without pulling the boat out. So we're going to take Furley Kathy's gonna get in the dinghy. I'm gonna try and hold her in place, and we're gonna try and scrub it off by hand. But at least this side, we get some yellowish staining, and the boat is so clean and everything looks so good, we want to get rid of that. You ready?
Yeah, grab your line.
All right, here we go.
Nice looking dinghy.
Hey!
That's what she said.
I didn't say anchor.
And if you hand me the hull cleaner, the booyah, the 2 scrubbers.
Hull cleaner. What's a booyah?
That right there, it's a hull cleaner also, but this is the one that the guy told me about. And I'm gonna need the 2 hand scrubbers behind you and the hose.
This is what our detailers told us to use, so here we go.
Not to be confused with the booyah that I thought we used. So I'm gonna try them both. We'll test them.
Got a little bit of name.
I think these are both more for the tannins part, which is tough because we have like straight up algae growing on it. So I don't know.
And it's orange.
Yeah, that's orange. This is green. Yeah. So it's.
Well, we tried every cleaner on the boat. And what do you have now?
A green scratchy scouring pad, which is probably maybe not good for the gel coat, but I'm trying not to push it hard, but it kind of took it right off.
Yeah, the staining is not like river water staining. It actually feels like scaling, like algae has built up a little bit. If you look at some of the other boats, it's just part of being here in this PM lake. It is river water, and throughout the summer it just gets kind of a yellowy color. That's what we had to scrape off of Mr. Furley, but it seems like the Scotch Brite pad might be doing the trick with one of the 100 cleaners we tried. Well, we have flipped Mr. Furley around, putting the outboard on the port side. Also on the port side of Furley is, or in the back of Furley is, an aluminum transom, that whole bench seat, center console, and the battery. The gas tank on Mr. Furley is up in the front, but I'm guessing the motor weighs 150 pounds, so between that and the bench seat and the battery, I'm guessing there's 200 pounds on the back of Furley. If we zoom in, you can see the water line on Andromeda is pretty straight. So I think that did level Andromeda out by running Furley that way, and we're going to, I guess, switch the chocks around to hold him in place like that. Seems like a big project we don't need right before we go, but it certainly seemed to stop the boat from listing. And there is a south wind that in this camera frame is coming from right to left, which should be pushing the boat over, and it's still not listing. So we're going to call that a win for balancing out the boat, but that means I have to realign the chocks that hold the dinghy. Kathy got the scum line pretty well wiped down. You can see it at the water's edge there. I stood up on deck and held the ropes for Furley while she leaned over the edge and scrubbed that off. And it only seems to be bad on the channel side, like the current comes in this way and sort of stains everyone's boats on the channel side. This is our friend Rob's beautiful Sabre, and you can see back there he gets some buildup. Other side of Aminos here, down there you can't really see it that good, but down there you get some buildup just on, again, just on the channel side, like the current comes in. But we got it scrubbed off, and now those 2 paddle boards that are on the rack there, we're going to bring up on the dock and wash them down real good and deflate them. get them stored in their big giant bags where who knows where we're going to put it, but time to wash the paddle boards and put them away. Bring a work.
Yep.
You approve of that, Ollie?
Yep. Moving.
What do you think of that? Huge pain in the ass, huh?
Yeah. Like Tetris, Jenga.
Jenga.
I don't think that this could be
Setboard
too tall.
Jenga.
These will be too tall now.
I'll take them out.
That was easy.
Yeah, that was easy. So one supboard is in here packed away. Kathy can show you all the stuff that has to go in the bag.
Yeah.
Not practical. That's why we leave them up all year.
And their backpacks.
On their backpacks in case you want to do a little hike. We had a pretty busy day today. We got quite a bit done, I guess. As far as number of items, maybe not as many as we hoped, but
But the big ones that
Some of the
needed
big
two
ones.
people, that kind of stuff.
yeah, the paddle boards fought us a little bit, but we won. But it's just it's strange because we feel like we have so much to get done, but Andromeda's pretty ready. We prepped pretty good the first time around, and I think the more we dig into stuff, I feel a little better. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have as much to do as we thought we needed to, but
But it's still, I think both of our personalities, we wanted her to be like perfect and ready and like clean and start, so I
Yeah.
think that we're putting more on ourselves than we need to, for sure. But I think that's just the way we like to do it, because then we have a starting point of the boat.
yeah. We're also balancing a little bit of, for instance, we're down on the dock here tonight. It's the end of the boating season, so all of our friends are down here. We want to make sure we spend some time with them before we don't see them for a long time. And then we have our daughters at home. We have some big plans for tomorrow to get together as a family, and it's tough to balance like yeah, we have to do all that stuff, and yeah, we have to do all the boat stuff. So we're trying to prioritize and make sure we get it done. But whatever, we'll be pulling out of here before you know it, and I'm sure we'll get it done. We always do.
The 1 o'clock Lions games on Sundays are very hard to manage. Because I like the 4 o'clock or even the 8 o'clock games, because then we could still get stuff done or do whatever. But when they're at 1 o'clock, it's just like, okay, well, we're just blocking out the whole day because we got to watch the Lions.
It's in the middle of the day, so
It's gotta happen.
might as well just take the whole day.
I know. So Sunday, so when we plan on 2 days on the boat, right now we're trying to balance it. It's like, well, we really only get 1 day. So.
Well, like always, we'll get it done. We're better under pressure, so we're watching Scott work his way around the Great Lakes, and we know that it's coming, and I think it's about 8 days, so
Yeah,
we'll get her done.
here we go. We would like to say a very special thank you to our Captain's Table patron, Tom M. And as always, a huge thank you to all our patrons. We couldn't do this without you.